Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, and my friends, they very recently had the Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown event stream in Japan, and well, hey, let's talk about it. Now, you may have noticed the Virtua Fighter X Esports. That is actually the title of the game in Japan, although as far as I know, every other region in the world, it is Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. Specifically, Japan only, it's Virtua Fighter Cross Esports. And what did we learn from this stream event? Well, a lot and a little. The entire event was in Japanese, as it is intended for a Japanese audience. People like me watching from Canada, they're not necessarily the main concern. So some of the nuance, some of the translation perhaps don't got the best on that, but a lot of the big hits, they're easy enough to understand. So that said, let's talk a lot of the big hits in case you're not aware of what's going on. So Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown is basically a rebranding, a remaster of the classic Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown game, completely remade from scratch in the Yakuza Like a Dragon engine. So the Yakuza 7 engine, this is all remade from there. Virtua Fighter 5 was originally a renderware game, and I'm pretty sure renderware no longer exists, sort of deprecated, as that was an EA thing and now they use Frostbite for everything, right? So everything is remade from scratch, here you go, and it looks pretty dang good. Also, comes out June 1st, and yes, it is a PlayStation Plus game. So as long as you are a PlayStation Plus member, you get it for free. And also on top of that, it is there longer than the average PlayStation Plus title. So usually, you do your PlayStation Plus thing, next month it's the next games. Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown will be available for 2 months instead of the usual 1 month. Reasoning behind that? Well, your guess is as good as mine, I suppose, but in my opinion, I think it's a really good way to get the Virtua Fighter brand back out there in front of tens of millions of people, just to kind of create awareness that, hey, Virtua Fighter is a thing, and probably Virtua Fighter 6 will be a thing coming in the future. Can't say for sure, I guess, but to me it is an incredibly strong indicator that will be the case. Now to the event itself, once again was held entirely in Japanese, and a very large focus on the stream was simply doing the Japanese side of esports stuff, right? So a lot of the particular details mostly lie there, but let's scratch the surface of everything else that was mentioned. So for starters, at this current time, it is only a PlayStation 4 title. And yes, if you have a PS5, it is very easy to play PS4 titles on PS5. So PS4 right now, for the moment anyways. Being PlayStation Plus makes sense enough. So here's the new UI. The whole red and blue esports look definitely well in effect. My understanding, if you want the classic UI, it will be available as part of Day 1 DLC. You got your training modes, your exercise modes, it's all there as you can see. If you need to practice, that's fine. There's arcade mode, all that kind of stuff. All the basics you would expect, hey, it's there. Fairly in-depth tournament modes here. You can have a lot of brackets. You can set up like winners brackets, loser brackets, all that kind of stuff. And if you want an esports, as it were, tournament online, seems to be it'll set you up pretty easy on that. But as far as the base package goes, it has pretty much everything you need. I wish it would have like a Virtua Fighter 4, Virtua Fighter 5 style quest mode, as that was some of the best single player content in the history of fighting games. Sadly, not there now, but maybe Virtua Fighter 6, hey, who knows. As far as more online features go, it's pretty stacked. You got big rooms, big lobbies, good spectator mode. It has stamps if you're a Dragon Ball fan. I know y'all love your stamps, right? I definitely do. So you can use stamps while watching stuff in spectator mode. That's pretty cool. And yes, of course, full customization returns. You wouldn't want Virtua Fighter without your customs, right? So you got that. And also Virtua Fighter 1 style graphics. Virtua Fighter 4 had like a VF1 mode, and now it returns. So if you want that classic polygonal look, it is there and waiting for you. Once again, as well as a Japanese-focused event, hey, the arcade machine, it's coming back. There will be a new Virtua Fighter Ultimate Showdown, Virtua Fighter Esports arcade machine debuting June the 2nd. So if you're looking to get your VF fix on, it's there if you live in Japan anyways. For some more fun stuff about the game here, they have a little bit of a side-by-side showing the old version of the game versus the new version of the game. And hey, here's the character select screen. Looks very sharp, by the way. And we have some gameplay from Itazan. A lot of the big names in fighting games, they were Virtua Fighter players first, just so you know. Now let's get to the elephant in the room, the netcode. So did they mention rollback netcode at any point during this event? Well, no, they didn't. But also, I kind of expected them not to. Even if it is somehow in the game, I still wouldn't have expected them not to, just because that's kind of the Japanese developer mindset, sadly. It took Guilty Gear Strive like almost a year to announce rollback netcode, and even then it was only through the English Twitter, and it took months and months for SNK to announce rollback netcode for King of Fighters 15, even through which we'll generally call a targeted harassment campaign. It only happened once the Japanese players started asking about it as well. For whatever reason, it doesn't seem to be a day one priority to announce this stuff. Now, is there rollback netcode? Honestly, I don't know. At this point, I'm going to wager no rather than yes, although I can't tell you for sure either way. If there isn't, this is truly the biggest shame too as well, because once again, this is on an all new engine. Retrofitting rollback netcode into games is rough when, you know, things are already established. You have to build along with the game. And with a whole new engine, this would be the best time, if there was any time at all, to put it in, because you're just starting from scratch. This is the easiest possible time to do it. Now, in the interest of being fair to Virtua Fighter, if there is no rollback netcode, as far as delay-based netcode goes, Virtua Fighter has always been #1, the best. Due to the fact just however they work the netcode and the fact it has an incredibly generous 10-frame buffer, Virtua Fighter's online in the days of when everything was delay-based was absolutely the best. And if it remains delay-based, I'm going to assume it's still going to be the best delay-based game. But that said, I know for a lot of you guys, rollback netcode is the deal breaker if there ever was one, because it's certainly not the gameplay, right? Like, spoiler, Virtua Fighter 5 is one of the best fighting games of all time, and in my opinion only, so don't freak out, it is the best 3D fighting game, period. But that said, for a lot of you, no rollback, no play, and honestly, I'm not going to tell you otherwise. It's long since past the time every fighting game should have rollback. It's not like they didn't know the pandemic happened, right? So if there is indeed no rollback netcode and you don't want to play, man, hey, more power to you. You don't have to support games without rollback. If it is no rollback, it is a total blunder on their part, and it's a damn shame. The one, I guess you could say, good thing about this is we don't have to wait too long to find out. The game is out Tuesday as of the time of this recording, and some people have early access on Monday, so we'll know at latest on Monday one way or the other. So all that other stuff put aside, in the end, I'm still just very happy to see Virtua Fighter back. I've been a lifelong Virtua Fighter fan, and stuff's been dry for the last decade or so. Let's put it that way, right? So having this, one of the most venerated fighting games of all time, brought back to life, new engine, new look, all that kind of stuff, looks very clean to me. Just very happy in the end, regardless of the online stuff or not, right? At the very least, it's there and it's still a good game. We're slowly getting past all the COVID stuff, so having offline, hey, it's potentially a reality later this year, right? So that is pretty cool, at least. At bare minimum, PlayStation Plus title. If you got PlayStation Plus, there is no reason not to get it and just see what this crazy Virtua Fighter thing is for yourself. And other than that, my friends, that's all the news we have at this time. The release is imminent. It is directly on top of us. Don't worry, I'll have some guides for you. You know, character guides, just general system guides, all that stuff. I'll have it for you, no worries there. And other than that, hey, I guess that's the end of this video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Virtua Fighter.